Today I have something pretty exciting to show you. We're going to do a preview on the new Wolverine 1000 R Spec X2. So I'll show you some of the things I like about the machine and some of the things that I didn't necessarily like about the machine. We'll just kind of do a quick walk around on it. I got a spike window for it, which I thought was kind of cool, and then I also did a rear window as well. So some of the features I like about it, I'm walking into the cab here. You have a whole stack of accessory switches right there, a whole nother stack right down over here, and then also a single one up top here for your winch, which I thought was really cool. So I can add a whole bunch of accessory switches. You have a storage compartment right here. I keep my paperwork. And you also have a really big glove box as well. So you have plenty of storage options. It has some really cool little rubber pads on the doors and also on the side console to protect your knees. Walking around the rig, you have your dump bed here, and that's pretty cool. It holds, I think, 600 pounds of payload in the dump bed. So it's kind of a utility slash kind of a sport vehicle. And we've had it going up to about 55, 60 miles an hour. I understand the top speed is around 70, and it was just really sure-footed. One of the things that really impressed me was with the suspension travel. This thing has a ton of suspension travel and a lot of ground clearance. So, I mean, you look at the ground clearance there, it's like got miles underneath there. Pretty amazing. We went over here just a couple days ago, went on a really technical trail. And I was just amazed at how well it just ate up everything that I pointed it at. It has some adjustable shocks here, which I haven't really messed with yet. The ride quality was just so good that I just really didn't need to play with it. Some really aggressive, very tall tires, which I also thought was really impressive. Oh, and one other feature that I thought was really cool. On the tailgate here, it actually has a metal piece across the tailgate, which kind of makes it a lot more secure, so you can sit on the tailgate, put some weight on it. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. Then inside the bed, you have 4 of these little tie-down hooks as well, which I thought were pretty cool. Kind of a neat little feature. So you can secure any load you have within the Pioneer. That was my previous vehicle, was a Pioneer. This is definitely an upgrade from my Pioneer. I went from a Pioneer 700 to this, and it's honestly like night and day difference. We couldn't believe how much better the ride quality was, as well as just its ability to go places. The Pioneer 700, I feel like Pioneer just really missed the mark when they didn't do a low range in the 700. And this vehicle has low range and really just does really good. It has some little hookups under the hood here for some accessories. It even has a spare right here. And that's how I connected my winch, was to the spare, which I thought was kind of cool. The other feature that I really liked about this Wolverine was the fact that your air intake is actually in the least dusty spot on the side-by-side. They put it up front, and this is the air intake, and that's the air filter. My Pioneer 700, they put the air intake in the very back, right in front of the rear axle, where the maximum amount of dust that from your ride can be produced. And so it always made my air filter really just filthy dirty. And I thought that was just insane the way they did that. But Yamaha's really put some thought into this machine, putting that air filter up front. And it's got the air intake just out the front there. And it's up high, so the machine can actually take on quite a bit of water before you have any worries about it sucking it in the air intake. I installed just an inexpensive winch. And the other cool feature that I liked about the Yamaha Wolverine was underneath the winch, it had a little metal plate. It actually had pre-drilled holes that match up with quite a few different winch manufacturers. So you don't have to buy a separate kit to mount your winch. You just simply buy the winch and put it in. I thought that was a pretty cool feature as well. Overall, handling on this machine was just incredible. I quite literally could point it any direction and it would go. It was just really amazing the type of trails this thing could take on. Just my general impression of the machine were very positive. I really love the ride quality. I like the power band that it had on it, as well as The belt itself, Yamaha comes with a 10-year guarantee, which I thought was pretty cool. They must have a real good belief in their belt system. The transmission was real smooth, real predictable. And I just really like the low range in it, how low it would go. And the other cool feature it has is it actually has lockers on the front end of the machine. The rear end of the machine is locked constantly, but the front end of the machine actually has lockers that you can lock in. So if you get into a stuck situation, you can lock the front end in, and it locks all four ends solid. And this thing just goes like a tank. It was just amazing. I mean, we drove it into a bog, and I quite literally thought we would be stuck. I thought, well, I'm glad I had the winch because we're going to be winching out. And I put it into 4 low, locked in the front end, and it just drove right out. Didn't even spin a wheel. So it's a pretty amazing machine, pretty capable machine. But overall, I just really like it. I like the graphics on it as well. It's got really cool graphics. I like the white and the gray. This comes on the R Spec. The R Max the model comes with a winch and a few other things. But I really like the color combination on this R Spec. And with that 1000cc engine, it just really does a good job on the trails. I mean, it quite literally ate everything that I gave it. And it didn't even care. So pretty amazing machine.